Okay, hey, how we doing? Everybody, Tim Piccirillo here. We'll wait a couple of minutes for stragglers to get on there, and because I know when we initially, turn it on live, people say, "Oh, I forgot about this." It's only Piccirillo. My goodness. So we'll wait just a minute, and then we'll get into the seminar. There's a number of people that had messaged me, the mini workshop, I should say, the number of people that had messaged me and say, "Hey, I got to work at that time. I know it's a weird time, 11 a.m. on a Thursday morning." And they said, can I see it afterwards? Yes, we will be playing the replay. It'll be put up, and you won't miss a minute of it if you want to watch it. This will probably last a half hour, 45 minutes, something like that. So if, just, feel free, let me know you're on here, and, then we'll go. So I'm going to wait a couple of minutes because I know there's, some people waiting. And I'll tell you what this is all about, because we are going to grow your business. There's 2 on there already. We have 3. Let me know you're here. Wave, say hi, do something. We have a few on there right now. And I'm just going to, like I said, I'm only going to hold it up a couple of minutes, and then we will start. And I appreciate the folks that are on it right now. Oh, there's Taryn. All right. Feel free to wave or say hi. And if you have any questions, there's Shanae, my friend. Shannon Crosby Kane, hi, how are you? Nice to see you on here. All right. Wonderful. And Taryn is on there too. Hi, Taryn. I want to help you guys grow your business. What I found, I'll just tell you in the meantime, give you a little insight into this, that I'm a small business marketing consultant, primarily digital marketing. And, I work with various small businesses, a lot of different ones. I've worked with solo healthcare practitioners, from acupuncturists to chiropractors, massage therapists, so and I've done I've worked with financial planners, body shops, attorneys, drug and alcohol treatment facilities, consultants, computer network companies, real estate professionals, mortgage brokers, bankers. I've done just the gamut of small businesses. And what I found is, even though, the internet, we've been on the internet, a little less than 25 years, and I'll talk about that, there's a lot of businesses still aren't on here. And you know what? And they say, I'm late. I don't know how to do it. And that's the biggest thing. You're on at the perfect time. Now, I had a discussion with a friend of mine. He's he's an IT guy and very smart, one of the smartest guys on the planet as far as IT, because he's been doing it for so long. But I say the internet, and for my study, is in its infancy. Even though it's about 25 years, the opportunities, and we both agree on this, is the opportunities are unlimited. But the way you have to get online to do it. And a lot of small businesses, particularly if they have a brick and mortar store, they don't know how to get online. They don't know. They know they need to be on social media with a business presence, but they don't know exactly how to do it. So I'm going to address a few issues today. I'm going to talk about, first of all, your website. Your website is credibility. So, if you don't have a website, that's okay. I'm going to show you a way around that. If you can do a business page on Facebook and use that in the meantime until you have a website, that's fine too. The elements I'm going to talk to you about regarding a good website for your business online. I'll talk about that, but you can just transfer that to your Facebook business page in the meantime. I'm going to talk about the big 5 social media platforms right now. I'm going to talk about a couple of other social media platforms, and you can make a determination from there where you want to be. Hi, Amber. I just saw Amber, and Scott. Scott's on there. Nice to see you guys. My good buddy Scott Humston. He's a brilliant businessman himself. So I'm going to talk to you a little about social media, and I'm going to talk to you about content marketing. And I'm just going to touch on that, tell you what it is, and what kind of you need to do to get a strategy. Okay, so we're going to cover those 3 topics. Now, at the end, if you just hold your questions till the end, I'll be glad to answer anything. I'll give you a little background on myself for those of you that aren't familiar with me. I've been a marketing consultant and copywriter in one form or another for about 15 years. And like I said, I've worked with a variety of industries and solo practitioners. I specialize in small business. To me, small business is the engine that drives the country. You're welcome, Scott. Small business is the backbone. There's about 25 million businesses in the United States alone, and the vast majority of them are small businesses. Okay, and there's a lot of small businesses, particularly if you don't have a bricks and mortar store, a storefront where people walk in and you're doing it. Your business is primarily for the public, that they walk into your store. It really doesn't matter. You still need that online presence. And people say, well, why? People are coming in. Where is your audience? Right now we have, and I'll get into this later, we have 2 billion people, over 2 billion people just on Facebook alone. So I always say, the first thing I ask when a client, wants to work with me and says, I need to up my marketing, I said, where are your clients? And they say, well, they're here. And I said, well, they're on Facebook too. So we'll get into that. This is why it's a great time to take your business online because, again, the internet is in its infancy. It's only 25 years old, less than 25 years old. So the opportunities are huge. Now, people... what do you mean it's in its infancy? Well, it is. Think about the car business. I think Henry Ford came out with the car, turn of the century, 1900, 1901. By 1920, now things have sped up, don't get me wrong. By 1920, there were about, I don't know how many cars on the road, very few. They were selling the Model T. And like Henry Ford said, you could have any color you want as long as it was black. I remember that. But you see, now granted, technology goes at a much more rapid pace today, but that industry hadn't moved that far in 20 years. So my point is, you see how technology it used to double every 3 to 5 years. That was only 20 years ago. Technology in general would double our knowledge base every 3 to 5 years. Now it's about every 6 months. But my whole point is the opportunities on online in general are huge, and we're still figuring all this out. Now, there are digital marketing companies. That's what I do. I have Market Pitch LLC. It's a digital marketing agency, and I have people working for me. We run social media. We do. We write, blog articles and content, things like that. Videos. Write and produce videos also. But the thing is, that's where it's being done today. Everything is going to be moving online. You're going to see that more and more. That is the future. And I'm predicting social media is going to get even bigger. It's big now, and I don't see any trend. It's just going to change. It's going to continue to change because all these different platforms like Facebook, they change the way they do things. But for the most part, that's where people are because it's social, correct? Okay, but as a small business owner, okay, now this is great because if you're on here, you obviously want to take your business online. Now, if you're online already, you probably want to, up your game, take your business to the next level. So this is going to be a little more basic, but I'll give you a few business principles that I always tell people when I first work with them. Start falling in love with marketing. It's the most high leverage activity you can do in your business. I always say, and I learned from one of my mentors, the thing is not the thing. Marketing is a thing. In other words, your business or your product or service is not the most important thing in your business. Marketing your business or your product or service is the most high leverage activity you can do. You have to have a good product or service to stay in the marketplace, right? But I talk about the myth of the best. You have to have something good that's worth selling that people want, but it doesn't have to be the best. I was in the speaking industry and I saw, there's a lot of great speakers out there and a lot of mediocre speakers out there that are making a lot of money because they were phenomenal marketers. In fact, one of my speaking mentors said that. He goes, I'm not a great speaker, but I'm a phenomenal marketer. But to be honest with you, he was both. He was great. He was a great speaker and a phenomenal marketer, and that's a shout out to James. But my point is, become a marketer of your services, and it doesn't matter what business. Hi, Ingrid. Ingrid's a musician. Musicians, this is the way the industry, the record industry is today, and the music industry. You can make yourself a star online if you do it right through the power of marketing, right? Okay, so that's number one. Secondly, once you get that marketing mindset where you're a marketer of your services, remember that you're not. It's kind of like I own a pet shop. Sorry, rented lips. Professional speaker, huh? I own a pet shop. No, you're not in the pet shop business. You're a marketer of pet services. Whatever you sell, that's what you got to adopt that mindset. So that's number one. Number two is make sure your marketing is all about your customer. It's not about you. They're really not concerned about you. What you do, selling your product or service, whether it be online, offline, doesn't matter. You're a problem solver. And if you can remember that, especially online, to put your content, whatever you post, it's all about the customer. Okay, so just keep it customer centric and you're going to be a lot better off, because really they don't care if you've been in business 25 years. They don't care if you have a 97% satisfaction rate. All they want you to do is solve their problem with whatever you're selling. Okay, so make sure you tune into their radio station, because everybody's tuned into the same radio station, WIIFM, and that's, a lot of you know what that means. What's in it for me, right? But now I want to take that a step further, and I can't remember. I read some book, and a lady took it a step further. It's not WIIFM. As marketers, we have to take a SWIFT approach. SWIFT. Setting up our marketing, we need to see what's in it for them. All right, so you want to pre-plan and see what your market wants. Do you know who your ideal customer is for your business? Do you know what they like? Do you know the demographic? What's their income level? What kind of magazines do they read? Who's your ideal customer? They call that a lot of time buyer personas, where there's a certain way they buy. There's a certain, they have a certain demographic. If you can figure that out, you're going to be well ahead of the game. But again, make all your marketing about who you're trying to reach. Like today, I'm just giving you information on how to grow your business. It's about you and your business. And I know certain things work and certain things might not work. I know most marketing is test, monitor, adjust. We throw things out there, test, see what works. Some of it will, a lot of it will, a lot of it won't. And you adjust it and just keep tweaking it. And the things that are working, keep doing that more and tweaking and adjusting as you go along, and add more stuff to the mix. Now, what are we talking about? We get the marketing mindset. Once you have that, keep it customer centric. The last thing I want to talk as far as business principles is what sets you apart in your business. What sets you apart from everybody else doing what you do, selling what you sell? It's a lot of people call it a unique selling proposition, or a USP, or a defining statement. Can you define how you're different and what you do in one or two sentences to your target audience? Some people say it's a 7-minute or a 7-second elevator pitch, or but can you define what you do and how it's different from everybody else in one or two sentences? Something to think about. That is something that you want to consider. And give a lot of thought to it. Because online, it is so crowded. And what we're trying to do is cut through the noise. You see all the social media images. We're seeing marketing and advertising messages continually. And what we're doing online is fighting for attention continually. And it's not easy, but it's doable. if you give them the content they want, we'll talk about that, and give it in short sound bites, because a lot of times what we're finding out is that people online don't have respect for people's time. Okay? Believe it or not, it sounds rude, but they don't have respect. You've got to hit them with content that they want quickly and succinctly, because people are just busy. You know how it is. And there's so much clutter on the internet, we want to be able to cut through that. So those are the business principles I wanted to remember. Become a marketer of your services, right? Whatever it is, adopt that marketing mindset. It's an entire mindset. Always be marketing. Market every day. All right. Secondly, make sure it's customer centric. It's about your customer. And hey, Bob Conrad just joined. GD Trohan, nice to see you. Good to see you on here also. Feel free to share this feed too with anybody you think might benefit from it. And so I was talking about, like, again, marketing mindset. Make sure it's customer centric. See what's in it for them. And then determine what separates you, because everybody in your marketplace, I will just say this, is asking the same question in your business. If they come to you for whatever business or service, they're saying, why should I do business with you or buy from you as opposed to everybody else out there that sells the same thing? And if you can answer that question, there's your marketing hook. That's what differentiates you. So you got to give some thought to that. And the lowest price, nah, that's kind of, everything's kind of been a commodity after the recession hit, and everything after. So you can't really, most businesses can't compete on price. Some can, but think about what's different about what you do. I know when I was in the speaking industry, I'll just say this last thing about a USP. When I was in the, howdy Leroy, when I was in the speaking industry, I had a very interesting message. I have Tourette syndrome. I had a very severe case in childhood, and I was also a comedy magician. So I had a very interesting story. Hi, Kurt. And I would do it. I would tell that story, which, I brought him up and brought him down, because it's a pretty wrenching story, gut-wrenching story. But I would do it with comedy magic, and I used that throughout my presentation, so that set me apart. I used, I was humorous, I was funny, but I provided high content and a lot of inspiration with my keynotes. So that's what differentiated me from every other speaker out there that was just telling stories. That's just in my case. Now, there's a lot of great speakers out there that only tell stories, and they might not even be funny, but they're just riveting. And I've heard a lot of speakers like that, some great ones out there. But again, you want to differentiate yourself. How are you different from anybody else in your market? So I'm going to stop there. And now we're going to talk about your website a little bit. Websites are critical in business. Now, you say, I don't have one. Well, let's use a Facebook business page. Those are free. You can set them up, and you can set it up pretty much the same as a website, but I'm going to tell you right off the bat, you're going to need a website for credibility. People are going to look for that online. To be honest, you can get one put up. You can put one up for free for the most part. GoDaddy has a way to do that. I think they only charge you a couple of bucks a month for hosting. So you can just build a simple website. I'm going to tell you the elements that you should have on a basic website that get attention, and it's, again, credibility. So number one, which most businesses still miss, because they'll have, Joe's Plumbing and Heating up there at the very top. Nobody cares. It's got to be a headline. Again, we're fighting for attention online. And the only way to get that is to grab their attention with some attention-grabbing headline. Now, what I did in the speaking, there's a lot of speakers out there. And I spoke in, and you can go and see how I did this at timpic.com, timpic.com. And I think I can go on there too. Discover how to make your next, I was a youth speaker, education speaker. Discover how to make your next student assembly powerful, unforgettable, and fun. That was my headline. And what that is an ad for the ad. You want people to grab you. In other words, you want that headline to grab them so that they'll read further. Because literally you have about 3 seconds to grab their attention before they click off. If you don't grab it right off the bat, boom, they'll click off. Other people, as soon as you click on a website, a video might play automatically just start and play automatic. But a lot of people disagree with that. I don't know. It works for some people. Some people say it's annoying. But again, I'll bet you it works for a lot of people and it doesn't work for other people. So you've got to test this stuff out, see what works for you. If they click on your site and you have a video of you starting to talk, sometimes that can work very well. Other times, in certain industries or businesses, it annoys people. But have a headline that grabs people. You can study headlines on that's a whole art in itself, writing sizzling headlines. So it gets people to continue to read, and then the copy is what's going to engage. Now, what's happening now is that you usually see on a landing page, you'll see a headline, and then maybe another sub-headline, and then right below that is a video. Video is huge, and it's going to get bigger. And it's just because what I'm doing here is video. And why did Zuckerberg put that on here as far as Facebook Live? Because he said a while ago that it is it's the biggest, well, how do you put it? The next big mega trend. In fact, Mark Zuckerberg, if you notice, Facebook right now gives precedence to people that do video. And I'll talk about that in social media. But a video, you say, well, what video? How about you or somebody introducing your business? Just a short 2 to 3 minute video that explains what you do and welcomes your guests to the website. It's very interactive. People love, seeing a talking head interacting with them, telling them all about what you have. It's a lot of times it can be more effective than text. You definitely still need to do text and write the copy and sizzling copy, but the video can get attention. You'll see that with a lot of landing pages where they'll have the headline, a little bit of information, and boom, a video where somebody comes out and tells what the page is all about. Okay, so that's critical. Video is definitely suggested because that's getting bigger and bigger because it's so interactive. And then sizzling copy. Now, what do I mean by sizzling copy? Well, I'm a copywriter, and you have to kind of have copy talking about your business, make that business pop. Why should people do business with you? It should be benefit driven, what you're talking about regarding whatever product or service you have. You can talk about the features of it, but what are the benefits to the person? Let's take it from a magic perspective. A feature of a birthday party magician. There's Ricky Boone. Ricky's a professional magician. We'll take it from your perspective, Ricky. Okay, so you're selling magic shows on the birthday party. Okay, that's your service. Well, here's a feature that I pull a live rabbit out of a hat. Very old, I know. But that's the feature of your show. What's the benefit? Well, you want to communicate that benefit to the birthday mom that is putting on the party. How do we do that? Say, can you imagine at the end, I pull out a rabbit out of a hat and I let all the kids come up afterwards and pet the rabbit. Now, how many kids have a live rabbit at first of all, a live magician at their birthday party that pulls a rabbit and the kids can pet it and the kids just love the rabbit? So what is it? That's benefit driven. And there's Jeff Case, another professional magician on here. Hi, Jeff. It's benefit driven. What's it going to do? All they care about, what's in it for me, and what's a mother care about? One, to make this birthday the best birthday their kid ever had. And what better way to do it than to hire a live magician that pulls a rabbit out of a hat that all the kids can pet? What does it do? It positions her kid as like the super kid, right? And that's why your text and copy should be sizzling and all benefit driven. Benefit, what I mean by that is what will they get out of it, okay? And how will they feel? And again, most people buy an emotion, so the more sizzling you can make that copy, wow, I just want that. And if you can't do it, you can go on sites like Fiverr or Upwork.com, and I'll talk to you about that later to another Facebook Live presentation. You can get people to do this for you. That's what I started. I was doing contract copywriting jobs, writing web pages, things like that. So that's doable too. So your copy is killer. It's got to be killer, and it's key credibility. Also, bullet points, short little, bullet points. People love that. Some people just want to skim. What are the benefits? Put a bunch of bullet points on there that are just short, succinct, and concise about what your service is or product. Okay, those are critical. And the last element that is, I should say, the last two elements, your about page. Tell them about you or your business, your staff. That kind of endears you to people, and also adds to the credibility and trust. So you want to, on your about page, you want to tell them, they're again asking, why should I do business with you? What do you know about what you're selling? And if you can put that in a very clear-cut, succinct way to do this. Hi, Mark, how you doing? If you can communicate that you are the expert and you are the best person for the job, whatever you're selling, that goes in your about page, your bio page, okay? And the last thing that people take for granted, and you should have these on every single web page that you have, and you can't have too many of them, testimonials. People singing your praises. You can toot your own horn all day long, but when somebody else does it, it's more credibility. Put testimonials on every single page, and that means written ones. I would have video ones also like this. You can just take your smartphone and videotape somebody and just put it up on your web telling how great your product or service is or how it benefited somebody. And because third-party testimonials are one of the most important things you can have on your website. Okay, so that is what you need. And you can do that on a Facebook business page also if you don't have a website. But get a website as soon as you can, okay? Because that, again, anybody online, for trusting credibility, you're going to need that website. All right, now let's get into social media, what I call social media 101. There are social media specialists out there. I have a couple of friends that, actually 3 different friends that have 3 different companies, and they do social media management. I don't purport to be an expert in this, but I'm going to tell you about the big 5. And we go back to who's your ideal customer. And then based on that, you might want to post on, spend more of your time on one social media platform than another. So I'm going to give you the big 5, and I'll tell you the big 5 right off the bat. Big 5 are number 1, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google Plus, excuse me. Now I'm going to tell you each one of them and what they kind of work, because they're different platforms. They reach different people. Facebook, everybody, you're on Facebook right now. There's over 2 billion users on there. There are actually, as of I think couple of months ago, 1.3 billion active daily users. So you're talking about, I think there's 7 billion people on the planet, and about 25% of us are on Facebook. Okay, hi Angie. So Facebook reports 1.3 billion daily users. I guarantee your market, at least part of your market, is on Facebook part of the day. All right. This is what we refer to as the neighborhood. Everybody's on Facebook, and Facebook is kind of like a general neighborhood. There's politics on here, food recipes, right? Gossip, general news, memes, funny stuff, humor, music, everything's on Facebook. So that is a general social media network. Now, what do we mean by social? It's all social. It's where people are, right? And that's I'm going to teach you how to interact on there in just a second. So Facebook, you definitely want to have a presence here. And when I mean a presence, you want to set up a profile for your business, a business page, and you can share your business page to your personal page, because I'm sure you have a number of, everybody has friends on here. All right, so that's Facebook. Let's go to Twitter. Now, Twitter has about, I think, 157 million daily active users. That's what the last statistic that I saw. It's a different platform, one of the oldest ones out there. they have 140 characters, not 140 words, 140 letters or spaces. So it is like the neighborhood pub. So Facebook's a neighborhood where we talk about everything and you can take as long as you want, right? It's like one big block party. Twitter's a neighborhood pub where you've got a really busy place to say, hey, did you hear about Bill the other day? Yeah, he's doing better, right? It's sound bites. It's very succinct, really small sound bites. And now you can, post blogs and things like that and do a link shortener or things like, for the most part. But Twitter is just more, our president uses it, good or bad. A lot of people, business people use it to get a marketing message out real quickly. Some people post like 20 times a day on Twitter because it's just little sound bites. So you might want to be on that one. It's huge. A lot of people will say, well, it's not quite as relevant as it used to be. Well, I'm finding out it is still relevant. It depends on how you use it. Some people say geographically it makes a difference. Where you live in the country, I guess, I think somebody was saying Chicago is big Twitter country, the Northeast is big Facebook. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. I like to use them all. But let's keep going. Twitter is the neighborhood pub. It's very quick sound bites where you, just like I said, 140 characters. You can't say a whole lot in that. LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn started off kind of like a monster.com years ago. It was a job search platform. It's primarily now the country club where business is being done. And LinkedIn is a business-to-business social platform where people post a profile, which is basically telling what they do in business. It's kind of like a resume thing. But people are getting leads, generating leads for marketing their services or businesses. There's a lot of deals being done, business deals being done on there as well. There are people finding jobs. There are people offering jobs. So anything regarding business, it's a great place to be. If you are a business-to-business marketer or you have something, you're a business that sells to other businesses, you need to be on LinkedIn. And setting up your profile alone is an art. Because it should be targeted, and that's one of the services that I do. I know how to set up a profile that gets attention and generate leads on there if you're doing business to business. So LinkedIn, you should be on there, particularly if you're doing business to business. Again, it's credibility for what you do. Google Plus. All right, now Google Plus, that was Google's answer to their social media. They put up a platform a number of years ago, and I heard murmurs a couple of years ago they were going to take it down because it wasn't doing as well. And there are marketers out there that have used Google Plus, developing people. I shouldn't say developing their tribe that way. For the most part, why I post on Google Plus, one reason, because it's owned by Google. So anytime I do that, I post anything and I use the right keywords, it gets me ranked. It keeps me ranked with Google. That's pretty much the only reason. A lot of people, hi Todd, Todd from CyberFunnels. All right, and JT, nice to see you. Yeah, but getting back, Google Plus, primarily for SEO. It's, a lot of people don't, it's not quite as relevant as it used to be. That's why I guess I've heard murmurs that they were thinking of getting rid of it, but really not sure. I haven't heard anything since. But because it's owned by Google and Google prefers text, that is still their content of choice. Anything you post text-wise, yes, post on Google Plus. Just put a profile up there. It's pretty easy. So the last one is Instagram. Now, Instagram was bought by Facebook just a few years ago, I think in 2015, for like $1 billion. And as of 6 or 7 months ago, it had 300 million users. And since that time, I want to say, 7 months later, it's up to 700 million users. Now, I played around with this, but hey, Todd, I played around with this, and I have found that for me, it doesn't work a whole. It's probably not a good place for me right now. Some businesses will find it is good for them because it's all about, on that platform, it's all about images and video. So pictures and video, if you're doing that, it's great, and that's the platform to be. But this is some things I found out. I'll read some. There's about 700 million users on there. There's about 400 million active users. 68%, and this was surprising to me when I started doing research, 68% of Instagram users are female. Isn't that something? 80% of Instagram users come from outside the United States. Now that's an interesting statistic. So there's about a little over 77 million users, Instagram users here in the States, in the United States. Instagram is used by 31% of American women and 24% of men. And 32% of all internet users are on Instagram. So, excuse me, you can build a tribe on there. When I say a tribe, it's kind of like a following, kind of like a fan base and prospects and people that are interested in your business. And that's a good reason to get on social media, because for the most part, we do social media marketing, but it's not straight selling on social media. What we need to do is engage people, engage our prospects, and it's a very soft sell. You want to lead them down a path to build that trust and credibility before they buy from you. Today, I'll tell you why we don't sell on social media. It's not. It used to be. I come from the direct marketing stand, where I was trained 25 years ago as a direct marketer, where we put out an offer, just like a landing page, or we sent a sales letter, and then we made that offer irresistible, and we wanted people to say, hey, I'm interested, and then we sold them. We made this call to action. Today, what social media is all about is about giving. It's because it's social, we need to engage with our tribe, engage with people that are interested in what you have to sell, right? And you want to give them content. You want to just give. And what do I mean by giving? Well, they're on there. You need to entertain them. You need to educate them, and you need to inform them. Okay, in other words, it's not enough to just say, hey, I have this. Will you buy it? Because people will run away. They're savvy. Most people, particularly millennials, but even adults today, are savvy to, hey, I have this offer. Will you buy this from me? All right. You have to build that trust and credibility, and that takes time, and that takes an enormous amount of giving good content that helps them. Now, I've been talking about content, and I know it's kind of like a no-brainer to a lot of businesses out there, but there's businesses out there saying, what is content? Content is just about anything you put out there on social media. Content can be text, right? Written blogs, articles, or just little, quotes. It can be video, or it can be audio. Podcasts are huge. Now, we talk about content marketing and a content marketing strategy. Going back to your ideal customer. Who is your ideal customer? All right, once you figure that out, what do they like? What kind of content do they like? Right? Do they prefer audio? Do they prefer video? Do they prefer text? Do they prefer a little bit of everything? You kind of have to figure that out. Those buyer personas are very important. Now, you don't have to, the big companies will go into the nitty gritty, and they'll do a 150 question survey to really figure out exactly what people want and exactly how they buy and how they're engaged and what they prefer. For you, the small business person, if you can just figure out who your ideal customer is, where they're at, that's why I mentioned the top 5. Now, we have other platforms. There is Snapchat, and that's rising. Whether that stays or not, I don't know. People say it might get bigger. I don't know. YouTube is actually a social media platform. People don't realize it is also the second biggest search engine out there, and it's owned by Google. Google snatched it up a number of years ago. But people don't realize that YouTube is a social media platform, but also a search engine. Because when people are looking for how-to information, or just they'll look, how do I do this? I can't fix my way out of a paper bag. But I remember I was at an ex-girlfriend's house, and her garbage disposal broke down. And I had no idea. I still don't know how these things work. But I went into a YouTube video, actually 2 different ones, and I was able to fix her garbage disposal. Now, this is from a guy that, like I said, I'm not mechanical at all, not even a little bit. But that's how the power of YouTube. You can find how to do anything, and that's why people use it as a search engine. And again, it's huge because it's video-based, and video is the mega trend, and you're going to see video marketing get bigger and bigger. I'm telling you, bigger and bigger. That is, I mean, Zuckerberg has been on to something for a while, but he knows that that is where it's going. So you want to get on board with the video train as soon as you can. And at a different Facebook Live presentation, I'm going to tell you how I do video very inexpensively and very easily, and actually pretty cheaply for that matter. So, okay, we're talking about content. Okay, I lost my train of thought. Forgive me. We talked about content. Google prefers text. Facebook gives preference to video right now. If you put a video up and it's been uploaded to YouTube first, you put a YouTube video, it's not going to get seen on Facebook as much. They prefer native, what they call native content. And what native content is you know, things that what I'm doing right now, taking video from your phone or a video, you know, raw video footage and uploading it directly to Facebook before you upload it to YouTube. They don't particularly care. They're in competition with YouTube is basically what it is. So if you have a YouTube video, it's not going to get seen nearly as much as something that you upload directly. One of my clients, we've done a lot of video, and we've uploaded to YouTube for the YouTube channel, but we also keep it and download it, upload it natively directly to Facebook, and we get so much engagement because of that. So consider that. Video is a good way to go. And you're saying, well, how do I use video? Well, how about just doing maybe a talking head like what I'm doing? Talking, you know, I do just talk about your service, or just it's all about engagement. Keep it how do I want to say, just keep it benefits drenched. The more benefits that you can talk about regarding your business or your product or service, the more engaged they're going to be. If you can be entertaining at the same time, that's even a plus, because again, we're fighting for attention online. So with content marketing, using content in this, you know, whether it's the podcasts or the videos or the text, writing articles or setting up a blog, who is your ideal client? What is the best platforms to put those on? Now, people say, it's like, I don't have time to post on all these different platforms. And I agree. So just take one or two, or just one. Start with Facebook and post once a day. And if you have a business page, you can go into, you know, when you post at the end of the week, go into Insights, and they'll give you all these different statistics for how, you know, for how your page did that week. Go for likes. In fact, if you would, after this, please go into my business page, Tim Piccirillo, marketing coach and copywriter. That would be great if you could go in there and like it. I would appreciate it. But basically, figure out, again, your ideal customer, what type of content they like, because you're going to start seeing they like more video, or they like more text. Certain posts are going to get more engagement than others. Now, it's critical too when you post on something to keep track of what people comment. Even on my personal page, if somebody comments on it, even on my birthday, when people wish me a happy birthday, people say I'm crazy, but I think the last birthday, it was something like I had 350 people wish me a happy birthday. I got back to each one of them. I didn't just like them, but I replied to them. Now, people would say that's overkill. Well, that's what engagement is all about. When somebody posts on your page or anything, get back to them. That's the social part of it. That's how you build your tribe. If they feel like they matter. All people want to do is feel like they matter. And anytime you're posting, keep track of somebody, and don't just like it. Reply a comment. It only takes a minute, right? Say something to acknowledge that person. That's what the engagement is all about, and that's how you build trust, and that's how you build credibility. It's really not rocket science. Now, the guys that have really gone into the social media depth and the social media managers that make this their business, they will go into metrics and everything else, and they get to the nitty gritty. And you can do that also. But to start, if you're a new business and or a business that's just taking your business online, just post consistently and keep track of what's working, what's not working through the Insights tab on your business page, and make sure you engage with people. Ask them to do things. A lot of times I'll do a post and then I'll ask them a question, because that kind of forces a lot of people to say, what do you think about this? Comment below. It's really, again, very simple. It's just about simple engagement. So that's all I'm going to talk about today. Your content marketing strategy will be based on where you want to post, who your ideal customer is, and how you want to hit them. But let's go back to the beginning. Start with a business page or a website. It's great you need that for credibility being online today. Pick your social media platforms that you would like to consistently post on, and consistently post on them every single day. And there's a matter of conjecture, but what I found, Facebook for business, maybe twice a day. Twitter you can do 8 to 10 times a day, because it's just really quick sound bites. LinkedIn once a day. Instagram the same, twice a day. And Google Plus, whatever you post elsewhere, post on there also. So like once or twice a day also. So that's basically it. Now, what I'd like you to do, if you liked what you saw here and I helped you a little bit, just private message me or email me at tim@timpic.com, tim@timpic.com. And tomorrow I will send you a PDF of the outline of this program. And so it's a reference and give you all the statistics and all that stuff that I talked about today. I also want to make one other offer. I have a flash drive, which, forgive me, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. Well, no, I'll get that later. I have a flash drive that has about 4 hours of content on it, and I will mail this to you, and it has my Everything You Do is Marketing seminar on it. It's a 90-minute marketing, live marketing seminar that I did. I talk about social media, I talk about direct mail, I talk about all kinds of different things, and it's a live seminar that was interactive. And that's the first program on it, and it's called Everything You Do is Marketing. I talk about the customer service, the customer experience as a marketing vehicle on there also, which I will devote a Facebook Live program to eventually also. Now, the second program on that flash drive is called Direct Marketing 101. As I said, I come from a direct marketing background where we make an offer targeted to a specific clientele, the ideal client, and then we, just make the irresistible offer and the call to action, and hopefully they buy. I did this a couple years ago with Fred Gleek, another information marketer out in the West Coast, good guy. And it's, I want to say, about over 2 hours of direct marketing wisdom, give you an idea of some of the things on there. I tell you the only three ways to make more money in your business. There's only three. We talk about the unique selling proposition, how you can differentiate yourself. Branding, right? Branding, it's a good and expensive term for small business, but branding today is critical. Who's your ideal client? We talk about how to figure that out. Measurement eliminates argument. I only want to do marketing that I can measure. Simple as that. A niche, right? What's your niche? I know people would sell, like me as an information marketer, marketing information to dentists. That's a niche. A micro niche would be orthodontists, right? Going down tighter than that. So we talk about that. We talk about your irresistible offer. How do you price your products and services? How about using speaking as a marketing tool? The customer experience as a marketing tool. Testimonials. Lead magnets, giving away content and free stuff to get more people. I'll give you we talk about features versus all this different stuff. Direct mail, believe it or not, direct mail still works. As it's like sometimes up to 10-to-1 over email marketing, because people don't get that much direct mail anymore. We teach a different way, a targeted way, mostly with postcard marketing. But you can get that and a 1-hour consultation with me for $100. The flash drive I normally sell for $147. My consulting fee is $150 an hour, but I'm going to give you the whole thing for $100. I accept PayPal, credit card, checks, gold tooth fillings, doesn't really matter. But if you're interested, just PM me, and even if you're not interested, and you can just let me know that you want the flash drive and consult package for $100. And then, but PM me or email me if you just want the PDF of this program, and I'll give that to you free of charge. That's nothing. All I need in return is your email address so I can email it to you and get you into my email system. So thank you so much, everybody, for being on here. Hope you got something out of it, and watch for some different ones because I'm going to be doing some more of these on very specific topics. I just wanted to give people that haven't been online, businesses that haven't been online, or people that just came online and don't really know how to where to go at this point with their business. I'm going to get real targeted with some topics, some specific topics that's going to help grow your business. So again, thanks for being here, and I hope to hear from you. Thanks.